In this video, we are going to be adding some bling to the Losi Mini-LMT by installing these super fancy Treal aluminum wheels. But the question is, are they just for looks? Are they actually worth installing? Do they provide any benefit? Or do they just add some weight on rotating mass, which you may not really want? That's what we're looking to find out today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Troy. This is RoadsideRC. You'll tend to find me bashing or crawling or drifting or racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. We're going to get started by looking at these wheels just a little bit closer. These Treal wheels are a three-piece design. So you have your inner ring, you have your outer ring, but we're going to have to get all of these 1-2 screws out for every one of the wheels. They come in individual little boxes like this. And then with all of these screws that are in here, we're going to have to get them all put on. In order to give this a true test, I'm actually bought a whole nother set of these Losi Mini-LMT tires. That way, factory to factory, these don't have a lot of wear on them or anything. Yes, they've gotten dirty. They don't really have that much wear. So we can weigh them side by side. This tire on the plastic wheel versus this tire on the Treal wheel and see just how much difference it really makes. Okay, we have all the screws laid out, the two different sizes. Tool is fully charged. Of course, it's worth noting, thread locker is going to be a must on this whole thing. We're going to end up using a bunch of this. I'm going to be able to share a couple of tips and tricks when you are assembling these tires to these wheels. First up, you do have to put screws in on all of the interior of the hub here. And that's the shorter screw. Don't do like me, don't be an idiot. And the first thing that you do is take the one screw that they provided from the factory to be installed. Don't take that out first. Instead, put a different one in first. So put some Loctite on and run it in there first. Then take out the one that doesn't have Loctite on it. It'll save that hub from falling off and then you having to reline it up. Of course, because of the different rim diameter side to side, the tire can only go on the rim in one certain way. So obviously you pull it in there, and then I found that as I pulled this over and just worked it up until it popped over, that would also tend to get this side roughly where it needed to be. Now when you first look at it, it looks like the tire is way too small for the screws to be able to go in, but I also found that it's also usually offset to one side. So I put one of the screws that's easy to see, I put it far from me, I take one hole here and I just line it up. I slide it in like I think it should be. And then once it's in there, you can start working your way around pulling the tire out because you're going to pinch it. And this ring is actually expanding that tire so that everything lines up. But you got to really get it in there. It pinches down pretty hard. Once you have it close to lined up, take one screw and get it in over on that side that you saw lined up first. Don't screw it all the way in, just get it started. You're just using it to help hold everything together. And then with that there, try to get in, and you really need to squeeze in here. And you get one of the screws in from the other side. Again, I have not screwed it all the way down in. There is still a gap here. What I'm going to do is start putting in other screws and slowly clamping it together one by one. Otherwise, you do run the risk. These are small screws. You run the risk of stripping them out. Once you're done with that on the one side, you can come over, do the exact same process here on the front. Okay, what was that? 128, I forget what the math was. All of them are in, all of them are done. All of these assembled up quite nicely. Look at that, I really like it. I think they look, of course, they look just absolutely amazing. I would say I had a couple issues as these assembled with a couple of the screws actually stripping out. Both of them are on the back side here, and now I've completely lost track of which ones they are. They're not falling out, and I imagine that sticky thread locker I was using is probably going to do the trick and hold them in there. Now I will say I've done the same thing that I do every single time. which is I've sealed the dang tires off. I swear, I always get all the way done and then remember that I want to unseal these tires. So I'm going to end up having to poke a hole, probably just pinch like this and poke a hole through. I'm not too worried. These aren't crawler tires. I'm not worried about a lot of mud or anything like that. I'm mostly going to be using them indoors, but I do need to vent them so that air can come in and out. And so I'm just probably 1-2 holes maybe in them. I just have a small hole punch here. I'll be able to squeeze it up and boop, pop a little hole, and then that way I'll have some space in there. Then we're going to get to weighing these versus the factory tires and then driving them back to back to see if we can tell any difference. And now a tale of the tape. So factory wheel and tire, it's got a little bit of wear on it, but honestly it's probably been driven maybe a handful of times, a little bit more. 54 grams. Same exact tire, brand new, plus the Treal wheel. Well, that's a different number, isn't it? So I could tell just holding it in your hand how much heavier it is than the plastic one, which of course makes sense. I don't know if this is okay or not, and that's why we have to try driving it now. So we are basically doubling the weight of rotating mass, which is usually a bad thing. Usually rotating mass is a bad thing. We're doubling that weight. Now, it's down low on the truck, so I'm hoping that maybe it will make it a little bit easier. I don't know, it won't tip over as much, so we'll give that a distinct try. Like, how much can you drive on a sticky surface without it tipping over? Is it better? Is it worse? Maybe that down low weight will help. Backflipping agility, acceleration, we'll give that a try too. Trying to do that head to head and see, back to back, and see what happens with it. First test is backflip ramp. Now we've done this a bunch with this truck. We know it does it well. Oh yeah. Ooh. So honestly, with the factory wheels, I have to like let off a little bit so that it doesn't over rotate on the backflip jump. And now with these aluminum wheels, I actually have to slow it down. I have to like keep it pinned, and it's still not quite making it all the way around. I think that extra rotating mass is making it harder for it to actually accelerate. The stock brush system doesn't have enough power to accelerate that extra mass to get it to backflip as well. Now, general handling here. How much before it rolls over. And then because of the differentials, it definitely does it differently both ways. Whoa. And then we get just exactly the opposite out here trying to do the circle. So it is dramatically more stable actually with those heavier wheels on there. So maybe this really just comes down to kind of how you plan to use this truck. I find this very, very interesting. I think basically what at the end of the day, if you're planning on doing more bashing, like really big time bashing, jumping, and you want to be able to do backflips, and you want the truck to be very nimble, I think the factory plastic wheels are really the right way to go. However, recently a buddy and I went to our local indoor track and actually tried to race these on the off-road carpet track. I think this might actually be there because I'm not worried as much about nimble. Really the biggest issue that we had was the dang things rolling over all the time. So that lower weight down here I think would really help that. But that's really interesting. I wonder also how much this extra weight out here puts extra stress on these joints in here and ends up causing more breakages. I do see a bunch of people with wheels like this having a lot more breakages on these than I've ever seen feasible so far with the factory wheels. So maybe it's just a trade-off that you have to consider. Is this worth it for how you're going to drive? Or is this that you already paid for and is free actually better? I think it just depends on how you're going to drive it. So I hope this video was useful for you. If you're curious about anything else that I've done with this truck, from shocks or chassis or anything else, and the testing that I've done with it, there's going to be a playlist popping up over here to your right, and I hope to see you in one of those videos. If you have any questions or thoughts about what I've done here in this testing that I've done in this video, please leave them down in the comments. I'll be happy to talk to you about them and hear your thoughts, hear your questions, and answer anything that I can. Also, if you do think that these are right for you, there will be a link down in the video description to where you can buy them. All right, thanks for watching, folks. I hope to see you in the next video, and goodbye.